Hi guys, this is the fourth video in an ongoing series of beginner jazz drum set videos that I have going on. You'll notice that it's nominally aimed at a specific middle school band at the school where I teach percussion, but it is not specific to kids or middle schoolers. Anyone can use it. It's just as effective for any age group. There will be a voiceover, as there have been in the past, with information about testing that you can just ignore. The rest of the video should pertain to anyone. Notation will be on the screen, and as always, there'll be 2 choruses of B-flat blues at the end. On that backing track, you'll hear 2 other teachers, bass and piano, and of course I'll link to their version of these videos at the end so you can see from that perspective if you're interested. But anyway, have at it. Okay, once you've established that swing groove between the hi-hat and the ride, you could stop there. That is enough for you to keep time as long as you're steady and propel a band through a tune. If you want to add a little bit more, we can go to the bass drum. So typically, while you're just grooving, assuming you don't have any interesting figures to accent, you will just be doing what's called feathering the bass drum, which means playing with the beater very, very close to the head, which I will show another clip of in a second, and you are playing very, very softly. This feathering should always fit underneath of the sound of your cymbals. It shouldn't compete, and it should fit inside the sound of the bass, whether it's a bass guitar or stand-up bass. It's going to be playing quarter notes, and you want to be underneath of the sound of that bass. So if you're ever competing for volume with the bass player or with your own cymbals, it's too loud, and you need to back it off. You could, again, not do this at all, and you'd be perfectly fine. But in a lot of big band situations, drummers do feather, but very, very lightly. So I'm going to bring the camera over here and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so here we are at the bass drum. When I am feathering the bass drum, I'm going to keep my beater very, very close to the head and play very soft hits. We're not trying to keep it far back and play loud hits. That would be obnoxious. That's reserved for accents or unison rhythms with the whole band, when we need a loud sound. But for just the groove, we're going to move very tiny for a very soft sound.
Alright guys, this is Mr. Finn. We're going to go ahead and play with the entire rhythm section on this track, so just get ready. If you are doing this for a video test, please do get prepared for that, and this is when you would press record, and so you can cue it up to here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Again, top, B flat. B flat. B flat. F. B flat.
Okay, so now we have a ride cymbal pattern, a hi-hat pattern, and a feathered bass drum pattern that we can put together and use to play songs from beginning to end. If the feathered bass drum is messing up your groove, if it's getting in the way musically, if it's irritatingly loud, just don't do it. It's okay to leave it out completely. But if you have a driving quarter note bass line and you just want to support it a little bit, the feathering on the bass drum can do that. Now you'll notice we haven't used the snare drum or the left hand at all. And that's okay. There's no set pattern for snare drum in a jazz context. It's going to depend on the song that you're playing, the accent pattern, the rhythmic figures you hear around you. It's typically used for emphasizing points in the specific song that you're playing and for providing texture. And that's actually pretty difficult to do. It requires a lot of limb independence so that you can keep the ride cymbal pattern going while playing a completely different rhythm on the snare drum. and it's something that could be covered in another video some other time, but I think it's beyond the scope of this very basic level here. So hopefully that gets you started. Practice a lot and you'll be able to play with the band in no time. Thanks for watching and have fun.